secondo challenge from Firmenich. Sono qui con noi Michel Bart e Laurent Dupré. Thank you very much. Il challenge è Formula Editor, un modo differente di creare formule, e adesso vediamo il video in cui Michel ha ingaggiato la sfida, e perché ci rende ancora meglio l'idea dei requirements che avevamo e da dove siamo partiti.
Okay, so our challenge will be to imagine a new formula editor, not the way we are using it today, but more in a more graphical way than just listing. So what we imagine here is to have citrus, floral, woody type of olfactive response, and then having another axis with cost, and maybe another axis with some chemical-physical data like salinity, which is physical chemical information. And let's imagine an application for tablet, for example, purely graphical, when you have sliders where you can say, okay, I want to have this level of citrus, this level of woody, a little bit less level of the other dimension, active dimension. And then let's define that we want to put that cost for the formula. And then this salinity. With those parameters, we should see a list of ingredients appearing corresponding to those elements. So for example, if I decide to increase the woody aspect of it, then new ingredient will appear. If I decide to increase or decrease the cost of my formula, new ingredient will appear or disappear, corresponds to this formula. Basically, we imagine something very graphical, with sliders that may work on the tablet with those kind of dimensions.
We are the Top Formula team. As we didn't, okay, the agenda is this. As we are not so familiar with this business, hope we can be in the next future. We have identified this key point. We listened many times the video, and we captured this. So you said that you need something in a graphical way, that you need a formula editor that is usable from a tablet, and you define some characteristics, some attributes. Okay, we work on these attributes. We probably simplify the things. We decide to define the olfactive characteristic, solubility and volatility at the ingredients level. So this means that you can define a range, so you can see or not these ingredients. Instead, for the cost, we have thought to have a formula level. The idea. This is the last idea that we have. We changed this many times through the 24 hours. This is the last draft that we have this morning at 7 o'clock after 4 hours of sleep. So the main idea is to have the below part with the filter that you can work on. As we are on the tablet, we don't have so many spaces, so you can collapse this if you want. We decided to use the left part to give you the list of ingredients with the main attributes. and with a click you can put these ingredients in the right spot, composing your formula. Here we take in account also the cost, so we give an alert if the cost is higher than what you are defined.
Okay. To do this, we try to understand which components, framework, and toolkits would better apply to the final solution. And we found AngularJS and Angular Kendo from Telerik. And we used CSS free specification. The main reason for this choice was related to the user experience that we would give to the user, and the main functionalities of the application are just filter and search between ingredients and add ingredients to the final formula, and define the key for every ingredient. So basically, we can have all this in one single page application. So AngularJS is a framework that lets us to create a single page application. The advantages of this choice are related to the fact that we don't need to write a native application, because it's a framework, AngularJS, that you can use it from the tablet, from a simple browser, or from your desktop, from your laptop. So just one implementation for different experience with different devices. Okay, and we just need to build a responsive UI, because every device, every tablet or the desktop have different resolution for the screen. So with a smart architecture of the UI, the parts of the UI fit better with the different kind of resolution of the device. So due to the pattern supported and implemented in AngularJS, is the model view whatever is called so. We have a native support to filter and update model that is our data. And so when user interact with the interface, data behind would be updated in just in real time, in a free way, in free manner. So we don't need to create and build something over this. Let us show you. As Paolo said before, we can see the main page, where we have a left side with the ingredients we appear. We start to change the slider, and the right part will appear the ingredient we will put in the formula. So the bottom part, the main part, is the portion where we can choose which kind of ingredient we will see in the list. So if we plan to create a formula that is this is our interpretation, okay? That is 25% of citrus fragrance of active characteristics, and 21% of woody and 21 floral. We will see in the list the list of ingredients. So, as Paolo said before, we interpret the physical chemical data as range, because we are not chemists, so we not understand how solubility will apply adding different ingredients. So we use this like just a filter, okay, for range. So imagine to add different kind of ingredient to the formula. Okay. Here you can see the name of the ingredient and some information we put there. This is the chemical and physical information. Okay, we can put in the formula and try to adjust the quantity till reach the percentage we put in this area. So you can see the real color. I can see on my screen because we put 24 parts of a floral ingredient. Now we can see on our monitor this is red because we are violating a constraint of the formula. Okay, and so the system tried to suggest us which are the constraints, and on the top you can see the total amount of the formula. That is the cost multiplied by the parts added to the final formula. So if you collapse the settings, okay, the main settings, you can work better, and the settings you create are visible, still visible, and if you want to change something, you can in every moment. These sliders are very related because the total sum is 100%, and for some kind of simplification, we apply we choose that the percentage would be also the total part in the formula. So, simplify you increase the cost, change the color of the total cost, because if the cost or the sum of the ingredient is higher than which one you set in the setting panel, the cost will appear red, to remember you that there is something wrong related to the cost of the formula. Okay, we talked to also to a summary of the formula, but is a different way to represent the final formula, and we plan as a future development some button option in the bottom part of the UI. For example, ask for a sample or export in some way like Excel or something similar. We also talk to use the drag and drop from the left side to the right side, but not implemented for now. So it's future development. Yeah, something is okay.
I think what you did on the left side is pretty good. It's exactly what I tried to explain on the video. I'm sorry for the video. I realized that I didn't put in the context what we are looking at. The sliders are perfect. Just for your understanding, what is solubility in water. Not so important, but it's an important. Those values are important for creators, because if you imagine that you are creating a perfume for a laundry powder or for a softener, if the solubility in water is very high, so it means that the smell will be washed with the water and then nothing left on the cloth. So that's a parameter that is important. So what you did here by moving the sliders and having the list of ingredients changing is exactly what we are looking for. What you did here is more back to the very classical way people are creating, because in fact, today, people doesn't have this part. They are really taking the ingredients because they know they are citrus, they are woody, or they are floral. They know that because they are creators, they are perfumer. So today, they are really putting ingredients and moving for quantity, except you put it graphically as creator or simply typing the number of parts. So this is fully graphical, and that's great. But this is more the actual way to compound. But this one is great because when you increase or decrease, you see the list of ingredients changing. Exactly what we're looking for. And then after the arrow, the way to summarize the formula is also pretty good because this is the way to go back to what people want to see, a list of ingredients with quantity at the end. So by doing this, you exactly match what speaks to people at the end of the process. And I think it's very good to put it at the end of the process, as you did. Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
The presentation is ID to value, so we are creating several innovation services. So the objective is to share what we would like to achieve at Firmenich. But before to jump on the innovation services, I think it will be great for you to know what we are doing. So it's a company founded in Geneva in 1895. Our new CIO is Gisbert Gostin. We are not on the stock market. It's a family company. It's a big one because we have 7,000 employees around the world. I think we are on 60 different sites. So the main site is of course Geneva. We have Princeton. We have Paris. We have Singapore. We have Shanghai. We are making a revenue of 3 billion. We have 3 main areas. One, of course, is perfumery, so that's why you create the POC. We have the flavors, so we are making some flavors and ingredients. And we have one important stream is the research. So we are investing around 10% of our revenue, so 10% of 2 billion. So you can see that for us, the research is very important. So now, one of the challenge of my CIO, because Michel and I are reporting to the CIO. The CIO is reporting to the CFO. So CFO is the person that is managing finance. So he started his new responsibility 3 years ago, and it was quite easy. The target of the CIO was to decrease the budget, okay, as all big company. So we were like that, and every year he had to reduce by 5 million. Okay, so it was really aggressive. So you can see, and we continue to decrease. So maybe in a few times we'll be at 0. No, I'm joking. This is a chart from Gartner or Forrester. Gartner, Forrester are some big companies that are making analysis. So there's 3 different views. There's the solid utility, the trusted supplier, or business partners. Typically, 3 years ago, we were in between. Okay, and due to the reduction of the budget, if we continue, we'll be a dinosaur. It's quite basic because you always reduce your costs. So at the end, the customer satisfaction will go down. Okay, so we had to do something, and we said that we are going to create some innovation services to jump not to trusted supplier or business partner, but to have a longer view. I can tell you we are not there, but we are starting. So our journey was quite difficult. We put, I think at the beginning, we were really there. And then now we are moving, and we are perceived we are a little bit different. So what are we doing? So we have a plan. Honestly, we have been coached by SAP. I think maybe you are surprised. SAP is a big company that are making an ERP. But in reality, we worked with SAP Innovation Services. So these people have an internet mandate to promote innovation, to manage ideas, and we have a chance to meet this team. And for 1 year, they help us to create some services. I'm not going in details on all services. I pick up only 2 that are for us are really important. So the first one is the ideation. What we like to do, so I have 1 slide specific for that. We encourage people to provide their own ideas. And when we have their own ideas, we can move for a prototype. What we did, for example, what we did today. Okay. So we are taking some ways. So I will go further later. Design thinking. This morning we had some discussion. I don't know if you know this methodology, but design thinking, it's a well-known methodology. It has been created by IDEO, and now it's used by Apple, by Procter & Gamble, by Coca-Cola, all big companies. And the objective is really to understand your challenge, because always we are jumping for the solution, but the objective is to understand what are the current challenges. So we are using Post-it, like your Kanban. So we spend time all together, and if we have 1 day of workshop, maybe we are going to spend 3 hours only to understand the challenges. So we understand the challenges, we create some personas. So the personas is what will be the end user. So you create a fake personas, maybe called Lisa. Lisa is really young. When she wakes up, she takes her mobile phone, she looks on Facebook. And then you create a story really to see who is going to use your application, for example. So you create your personas, then you jump to the ideation. Ideation, you generate plenty of ideas, and then you put some priorities, and then you move for an experimentation or prototyping. And then at the end, you see if it's viable. So it's a methodology. It's really to be really close to the customer. So during this workshop, we are inviting those IT people, but we are inviting the business people and sometimes the customer. So really to take the feedbacks. Then we have the business model development and innovation. If you look on the literature, it's called BMG, business model generation. So it's exactly the same. I will develop later. And now we are developing rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping, we can say that 1 year ago, when we developed an application, we were very slow. And when we started the project and we provided our application, we were completely out of date. Okay? So that's why we are working with you. We had a great development from you in gradient costing. So I would like us to thank you because you achieved really a good job. And what we would like to do is to be closer to the customer and to be quicker. So we have some sprint and we have some nice understanding. And we would like really for future projects to use this methodology. Co-innovation. Co-innovation, the innovation is coming, of course, from Germany, but we are discussing with different startups. We are discussing with different universities. If we speak about big data, Internet of Things, all this stuff, we have some talents that is outside. So now we are discussing with these universities to have some project and we work together. We would like to do that. We are not at this stage, but 2 days ago I was at EPFL. It's a big university in Lausanne, so in Switzerland, and probably we are going to run some project together. Innovation Days is what you are doing today. Is to share information, to show your prototype, but we would like to add something, is to invite the business. So innovation DNA, it's a model of services. So at the beginning, we were looking only for IS. IS is information services, but what we are looking is for the business. We would like to provide this service for the business because we are sure that they can use that. I will demonstrate why. So now, what is our ID management process? In reality, it's quite basic. We create some challenges. So the challenges is how to use big data for Firmenich. It's an example. Okay. So we have an application. I will show you later. Only 1 page, and we invite our employees to participate. Okay. So we jump to the ideation. So ideation, people are saying, okay, we can use our internal data to be more predictive, or they are going on really on different web. And we open the challenge for 30 days. And people can also vote online. Okay, yes, it's a great idea. Or your idea, I don't understand what you want to do. Or maybe I can help you on this area. And it's really an exchange. And we encourage people to enter their own idea. And we invite people across the world. And the mentality in Europe, we are really open, but in Asia, they are really creative. In America, they are coming with different technology. So at the end, when we have the bunch of all these people, we have a good result. Then after that, we evaluate this idea. So we ask some external experts to come and to vote. And then we are saying, okay, we jump for a prototype. We have one advantage with this process. We are managing the risk. We are saying, if you fail, it's good. If you go to your management, you say, okay, I failed. I'm sure that your management is going to complain. But with this process, we would like to take some risk. So we would like to fail fast, fail as soon as possible. So we invest only low amount of money. I think the maximum amount of money that we invested is $15,000, okay, 15,000. The project was quite big, but it's really low because at the end, you would like to go really quickly. So we experiment. At the moment, the percentage of failure, I'm not speaking about success, I prefer to speak about failure, is 70%. And we are really proud. Yes, we fail at 70%. But we have 30% that are really great. And now what we are going to do is to create our own project. So now we are not smiling anymore. You have a budget, you have a plan, you have all the gates. So some projects are going to move there with a real project manager, and we are taking no risk. Okay. So, we have several campaigns, and it's quite successful. So we have an ID management campaign. So we just launched a new ID management campaign. It was on Wednesday. We have only one ID because when I took the screenshot, it was just at the beginning. But we have a page, you recognize myself, so you have your ID. So we have three different subjects. One is not related to IT, is to see the visibility of GIO, so it's a team. One is to maintain, so it's more an operational team. In reality, it's an infrastructure team. So how to improve the service level, because as all team, we have the team capacity, but they would like to move more on the project. So we have to improve the operational aspect to have more people on the project. And then support the vision of a smart space. Smart space, we have a big open space, bigger 2 times like that. And everybody is working on this area, and maybe the technology can help. It's not only to have a good Wi-Fi network or a good phone, but there's maybe different concept, how to go to your room, all this stuff. And these people are playing around that. So this is for ID management. Then I'm taking another example that we played this morning together, is to create a story. Because sometimes you have a great ideas, but you don't know to who you are addressing these great ideas. And at the end, you should create a pitch. So I'm not going to go in details, but I will try to create a pitch. So you can imagine, so at the end, this canvas is for the game. It's an application for an iPhone. You have different perfume, and you have to guess the perfume brand. And then there's a gamification concept. If you, for example, you see the picture, and you say, okay, this is Calvin Klein, and this is the name, you win some point. Okay? And it was from the ID management. Somebody from India said, okay, I would like to do that. So I will explain. So you start always with the center. So the objective of this application is to learn the perfume brand, to learn perfume made by Firmenich. We should provide some, so it's a game, and we should provide some fun. And we should provide some information to some user. To who are we addressing this application? So for new perfumer, because when we have new perfumer coming, they should first learn what we are producing. For Firmenich business to business, to our customer, maybe for our clients, and of course for all Firmenich employees. So now we need some help. So we are jumping to the key partner. So we need the mobility team because we are creating an iOS application. It's iOS, so we need the help from Apple. We need the marketing because we need to sell this application to different people. On the security, because we have maybe some sensitive data and we should respect our internal policies. What we are doing, we need an Apple infrastructure, we need some perfumer data, blah, blah, blah. Then what will be the cost? The cost, we have some OpEx because we need to maintain the application and we have the marketing. The marketing is always maybe creating some flyers, some events. And at the end, what is really important to understand what is the revenue? Is it some dollars or is it something different? And at the end is the data value. What we would like to collect, it's when people are starting your application and they register their name, their age, and what they are looking for. And at the end, for us, the value is the data. And we are collecting this data, and maybe this data in the future we can sell it to different people. I need 2 more minutes. Last slide. So I spoke a lot about IS, but we need to sell these services to different people. So our objective is now we are going to launch a campaign with the supply chain. The supply chain is facing an issue. We have different supply chains around the world. Is to geolocalize everything on the supply chain for a cost of nothing. So they should be able, what's the name of the drum? They should be able where are the drum and all this stuff for a cost of some cents. Okay, we are not speaking about dollars. So it should cost nothing. We can see that we have one big challenge for the top management about a learning organization. So we would like to launch that to different people. Yeah, and then I spoke about design thinking. We would like to improve a process for R&D. So we are going to launch a design thinking. Same for the perfumery. So then you can see different topics, but what we are going to do that. So we are launching the campaign. Then probably we are going to do a rapid prototyping. So in a few days, we can show something to the supply chain. It can be also with different startups or with this university. These universities are really interested to participate and they would like to do some prototype. And at the end, what I showed you the slide before, we have to see how we can create your pitch and to sell this prototype to our end user. I think that's it.